me, the social acceptability aspect of the climate policy was really the highlight of what I take home as a main message. Indeed, the climate policy will not work unless it gets acceptable, it is perceived as acceptable by people. And we learned that there is a discrepancy between perceptions and reality. A discrepancy that we need to overcome through proper communication. And in my view, one important aspect is to communicate the use of the ETS revenues, the auction revenues that can really help in compensating the most vulnerable people.
And in my session, we were dealing with the carbon border adjustment mechanism and with competitiveness issues. And the point that was discussed is that the reality of our companies today has changed a lot since the war in Ukraine, the revolution we had with gas markets and the prices going to very high levels. We are recuperating from that, but the competitiveness question and the carbon pricing remains on the table. So we were revisiting that, and there were lots of things discussed, including what our American friends are doing under the Inflation Reduction Act, which is a subsidy move compared to a pricing move that we are using in Europe. So lots of interesting issues and an evolving debate that has brought forward quite some new insights.
We want to provide some background analysis that can facilitate the conversation happening at the Florence process. There is a bit of a history behind this. I remember I had just arrived at UI. It was my very first meeting, and probably that's where I met you. Well, no, I knew it before, but in any case, we had this meeting within a LIFE project, and it was so successful, let me say, that Jos and the Commission decided to keep going, have other occasions like this, other events. And since then, it was 2017, yeah, the Florence process really emerged.
Yeah, and the Florence process is, of course, so important because we are talking to our international partners who have carbon pricing systems. And when we discuss the CBAM and free allocation and the use of carbon credits, these are exactly the same questions that they are facing in their constituencies compared to what we are facing here. So it was an ideal, preparation for our upcoming talks, and in particular on what is happening in countries like the United States, in Canada, New Zealand, not least China matters a lot when it comes to carbon pricing. So an ideal preparation for further talks that we are going to have during the first weeks of May.
So we will keep feeding the Florence process with our studies, with data, with policy dialogues like this, and we look forward to the next.
Absolutely.